You reach down, wrap your arms around your dog, and give them a big hug. It feels like the perfect way to say, "I love you." But have you ever stopped to wonder, does your dog understand that hug the same way you do? Or could they be experiencing something completely different? Most people believe that if a dog stays still during a hug, it must mean they enjoy it. But that's not always true. In fact, many dogs tolerate hugs because they trust their owners, not because hugs are naturally comfortable for them. And once you understand how dogs communicate, you may never look at this simple act the same way again. Before you worry, this doesn't mean hugging your dog is always wrong. Some dogs genuinely become comfortable with close physical affection over time. The real question isn't whether hugs are good or bad. The question is whether your individual dog is choosing the interaction or simply putting up with it because they trust you. That difference changes everything. Dogs experience the world very differently from humans. We express affection through embraces, kisses, and holding each other close. But dogs evolved as animals that rely far more on body language, movement, facial expressions, scent, and personal space than on prolonged physical restraint. Imagine someone much larger than you suddenly wrapped both arms around your shoulders and held you tightly without warning. Even if you knew they loved you, your first instinct might be to stiffen, pull away, or wonder what was happening. Many dogs experience something similar, and here's where most owners miss an important clue. Dogs rarely say no the way humans do. Instead, they whisper, they lick their lips, they yawn when they aren't tired, they blink repeatedly, they turn their head away, they lower their ears, they become unusually still. These are often called calming signals, subtle behaviors that can indicate a dog is trying to reduce tension or communicate discomfort. They don't always mean a dog is stressed because context matters, but together they can tell a story that many people overlook. The surprising part is that these signals are so quiet that they often happen right before the owner proudly says, "Look how much my dog loves hugs." But what happens when those tiny signals disappear? That's where things become even more interesting. Many people assume that a wagging tail automatically means happiness. Not exactly. Dogs wag their tails for many emotional reasons: excitement, uncertainty, curiosity, anticipation, even conflict. A tail wag is part of the conversation, not the entire message. To understand what your dog is feeling, you have to watch the whole body. Is the body loose? Are the muscles relaxed? Is the mouth soft? Are the ears in a natural position? Does your dog lean into you voluntarily, or do they freeze until you let go? That single difference can reveal far more than the tail ever could. And there's another behavior that surprises researchers and trainers alike. Some dogs actually approach their owners immediately after an uncomfortable hug. At first glance, that seems like proof they enjoyed it. But sometimes it's simply because the relationship is built on trust. Dogs often seek comfort from the very people who accidentally cause the discomfort. That isn't proof they love the hug. It's proof they love you. Those are two completely different things. If this is changing the way you see your dog, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. Every week, we explore the hidden psychology behind dog behavior, so you can understand your best friend on a much deeper level. Now, here's something almost nobody talks about. Think about how your dog greets you after you've been gone. Do they run toward you with loose movements? Do they wiggle their entire body? Do they choose to lean gently against your legs? Do they bring you a toy? These behaviors are often much closer to a dog's natural way of expressing affection than a long, tight embrace. Dogs constantly make choices about distance, who they approach, how long they stay, whether they initiate contact. When your dog chooses closeness without being asked, that's a powerful sign of comfort and trust. Choice matters, because genuine trust cannot be forced. It's offered. Scientists who study canine behavior have also shown that dogs are highly sensitive to human emotions. They notice changes in facial expressions, voice, posture, and even routine. While they don't interpret every human gesture the way another person would, they are remarkably good at reading patterns and emotional cues from the people they know best. That means your dog may not understand a hug as a human symbol of love, but they almost certainly recognize the gentle tone in your voice, the kindness in your movements, the consistency of your care, the safety you provide every single day. Those things speak louder than any hug ever could. Now here's a question that can completely change your relationship with your dog. If you stop hugging them for 1 week, would they choose to come closer on their own? Would they rest their head on your lap? Would they curl up beside you? Would they nudge your hand for attention? Those choices tell you something incredibly important. Love that is freely given is easier to recognize than affection that is requested. This is why experienced trainers often encourage owners to let the dog initiate physical closeness whenever possible. When a dog chooses the interaction, everyone feels safer. Everyone feels more relaxed, and trust grows naturally instead of being assumed. Of course, every dog is an individual. Some dogs absolutely enjoy hugs because they've had positive experiences with them throughout their lives. Others prefer gentle petting, scratching under the chin, or simply lying quietly beside their favorite person. Breed tendencies, personality, past experiences, age, and health can all influence what a dog enjoys. So instead of asking, "Do dogs like hugs?" try asking a better question. What is my dog telling me right now? That question changes your focus from what you want to what your dog needs. And that's where the strongest relationships begin. The next time you reach out to hug your dog, pause for just 1 second. Watch their body. Notice whether they lean in or lean away. See if their muscles stay loose or become tense. Pay attention to the tiny signals they've been giving you all along. You might discover that your dog loves a gentle cuddle, or you might learn they would rather sit quietly against your side while you stroke their chest or shoulders. Neither answer means your dog loves you more or less. It simply means they're communicating in their own language. The greatest gift we can give our dogs isn't assuming they experience love exactly as we do. It's learning to recognize the way they naturally express it. Because your dog isn't trying to be difficult. They aren't trying to confuse you. They're communicating every single day through movements, expressions, and choices that are easy to miss if we only look for human signs of affection. So before you hug your dog again, don't just ask whether they love you. Ask whether they're comfortable. Because when you start listening to what your dog is saying without words, something beautiful happens. You stop treating them like a small human and start understanding them for who they truly are. And that's when the bond between you and your dog becomes deeper than any hug could ever express.